either sharks will get it, which isn't likely here in Indo, or it will take both of your floats down so deep and then get reefed up that you couldn't possibly dive down. I think it was 80 something kilo doggy. But yeah, it's just about placing the good shot. There's so many debates as to where that shot placement is.
This is my thought. Like my personal opinion is like share the rig because like hopefully you'll give people a higher percentage of take home fish because, and I think you and Brett touched on this. You were talking about like, maybe 2 in 10 dogtooth, like guys shoot what they actually put on the boat. And it's a pretty shit ratio. Like if we're honest about it.
But, yeah, 2 in 10, that might've been my ratio then. It's much higher now. I think once you're comfortable with your gun and your rig, it's you can get those numbers way higher.
Okay, like so now, talk to me about getting those numbers higher. It sounds like you've gone on a journey there from 2 to 10 to, let's say you're taking 1 and 2 now, whereas you were 1 and 5 before. Would it be something like that now, or?
I don't know what it was before. Before when I talked to Brett. Well, now it's higher. Like basically, if you place a good shot with a rig like what I've got, like either sharks will get it, which isn't likely here in Indo, or it will take both of your floats down so deep and then get reefed up that you couldn't possibly dive down to untangle it, which is like part of the reality of having a cable. But the other thing is like if it gets reefed up in 20 meters with the cable, then you could probably go down and do something about it. But yeah, it's just about placing the good shot. There's so many debates as to where that shot placement is. Gill plate, tail, behind the pec fin.
What's your recipe? Where do you like to shoot them?
I'll go for near the pectoral fin. It's just
so much sinew and bone.
There's so much going on around there. So many potentials for a good shot in that area. But I don't know. I've seen like there's this dude in Japan. I don't know his name, but I think his Instagram handle is like Mission 100 Films or something.
I think I've seen this guy.
This dude is spearing 90, 100 kilo doggies with a homemade pole spear. And there's this one crazy video he's got where it's a massive doggy so close. It must be 1 meter away from him. And he could hit the fish anywhere he wants with that pole spear. And he goes right for the tail. And
wow.
It's a crazy video on Instagram. You should, whoever's listening should check it out. It's, I've never seen anything like it. He never shows the ending of what happens with any of these fish. I think he's coming out with a big feature film or something. But I wish he would show the ending. I want to know what happened after that. But he could have chosen anywhere on that doggy, and he chose to put it sort of right above the anal fin and whatever fin's right above the anal fin. That's sort of right where he aimed.
Yeah, righto. Far out. That's very cool. I mean, again, like a lot of tough structure there, I guess. I've never been dogtooth hunting. I really want to do it. It's coming one of these days. Need to get a massive leave pass. I don't know how much goodwill I'd need to build with my wife first, but it's coming. Indonesia's like only a short, hop really away from Australia. For your average DIY person on a fairly low budget, what do you recommend they do? So where should they fly into, and what opportunities should they look for?
You can chase doggies in Bali. There are still big ones here, but they're much, much smarter and rarer. And your chance of success will be so much higher on other islands. But if you're really on a budget, you can come to Bali. And there's places here. There's plenty of guides around the island that you can call, and they'll put you on the doggy spots, and relatively inexpensively compared to the rest of the world. I mean, it was only 3 or 4 weeks ago, somebody landed, I think it was 80 something kilo doggy here in Bali, which is wild. Wow. The world record that Cameron Kirkconnell shot years and years ago was not very far from Bali. And but if you really want to go get a big doggy, you don't want to be on Bali. You want to go to other parts of Indonesia or French Polynesia or wherever.